it's time to follow suit, right? I've been seeing a lot of people posting lately, and they've been pouring it out or some real shit about what they're going through and spotting the places, especially pinpointing their childhood, about where these issues of whatever insecurities, lack, um, anything that's held you back from your success and your goals, basically in life. These individuals were pinpointing it and just getting it out. You know what I'm saying? And think about that, and think about the mission that a lot of us have. What they call, you call what you want, light workers, angels, whatever term makes you feel. You know what I'm saying, on that vibration. But we have to go through certain things in life in order to learn how to overcome them. In order to teach other people how to overcome them. You know, take some of those, take some of that unnecessary legwork out the equation, so the process happens a little bit faster for everybody else. So for me, I was just sitting here thinking, right? Uh, Listening to the readings, and then because I had a couple private readings, and it's been teetering back and forth in my mind, but it has nothing to do with the reading so much or the people that were involved in it, more so than it's always going to have to deal with you, right? And I sat here thinking to myself, because I was getting ready to write. You know what I mean? I love writing poetry, rhymes, and shit like that. And the first lines that came to my mind, because I've been asking for the answer, it said, "What is there to love? He got a hole in his heart. Now who done pulled the plug?" Some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like just off the top of the dome shit. And it made me think, because I heard that somebody said that there's a fear of being loved. And when I put those two together, it's like it coincides. It's like when you're at an early age, especially if you've lacked a parent, a particular parent. Let me rephrase that, because you're gonna have them people that said they had parents, but they wasn't shit. They were in their lives. They did were if you had a good role model. Okay, let's take it back. If you didn't have a good role model, either out of a mother, or father, or both, you did miss out on a lot that you have to learn in life, because they instill in you those different polarities, the yin and the yang, on how you conduct, how you prosper, how you interpret, how you receive, how you give. Like they'd be like, no, you need to stop giving to. They'll be the ones to point out your shit when you're doing something wrong. But if you don't have that there, you don't get the guidance. You know what I mean? You slide down the hill for who knows how long till you get that lesson, and the universe will always provide it for you. And that's what I came to the conclusion, because I remember that kind of a feeling when I was younger. It was like, what is there to love? Because I never really received that like that. You know what I'm saying? And it played such a, and you would think that with the things that, a lot of you already know that I can do, that I've already done, it's like, what is there not to love? And yes, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'm there at that point in my life. It took a lot of rebuilding myself, tearing that down and rebuilding it, tearing that down and rebuilding it. You know what I mean? Tsunami after tsunami to get to that point. But that was the pinpoint between now and my childhood, which hindered my growth, was the feeling of worth and value. And as a Taurus, that's a big thing. And that was one of the many great lessons I learned within the past 10 years, which is, lesson after lesson. It's like it was a test every fucking day. You know what I mean? It felt like sometimes. But get through it. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. It's not something you dwell on. But it's for you to pinpoint that and then get it out. Be vulnerable, be transparent, be real with it, because you never know, first of all, who you're going to, well, I'm not going to say anything outside of yourself, first of all. First of all is first of all. Second of all, anybody outside of your realm, you know what I'm saying, that might have that issue, or just to bring to somebody's awareness makes them see somebody else. 6 degrees, right? So what does that mean? Feeling of worth, like if you've ever been a kid and you've ever been to a test, because I've had 2 black belt tests and I've never had anybody there for me, you know what I'm saying, cheering me on. And it used to kind of gnaw at me a little bit afterwards because you see everybody and their families taking pictures and shit like that, and you just off in the corner, or you just participating in other people's shit, but it don't feel authentic, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? You just like hands in the air, like what the fuck? And then over time, what it does, it pulls that plug, in your heart, because you like, if ain't nobody else gonna fuck with you, then why else? The fuck is there to love, right? That's the, what the fuck is there to love? So why even care? Why, what I mean? Put yourself in situations where you could really mess up your future and stuff like that, just not thinking and not caring because you feel like the rest of the world doesn't care. And I used to hate that when I was a little bit younger, that I used to look at my talent in such a way that it wasn't, it's weird, it was outside of me. It wasn't the real me, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the real me. And that everything that everybody liked about me was only based on what I could do. Until I figured it out that, that's one and the same. So there was a division. And I think that is the word that I would use from from a child's standpoint. There's a division between the certain principles that you're supposed to learn when um, one of the masculine and feminine principle is absent, unless you had, a mentor or somebody took you under their wing, or you just had a strong whatever. But and what it does is like it hinders you because you'll be one of them people that your talent will get you to the finish line before anybody else. It's just you cross that line, you're like, what for? Kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's just something that you got to watch for. And what that does, it creates little moments of self sabotage throughout your whole life. You get to the door, it's everything you wanted, but then you get there and it's like that childhood voices behind you, like, so what? What for? Who cares? You know what I mean? Who going to give a fuck anyway? But the thing about that I appreciate is because of the journey. It was the first, second, third, who knows what part of the journey it is, because there's more after this part of the journey for sure. It's that part where you've learned what it is to have self-worth, to have value in what you are, who you are, what you do, what makes you unique in the world. Uh, and that it is you, you know what I'm saying? The gifts and the talents were given to you for that reason, if you want to look at it like that. It was given to you because you could bear that kind of weight, you know what I mean? And the journey of self discovery is what cultivates that strength. So it's not something that you get to that point and you realize it and then you get depressed about it. You realize it and then you just make the adjustment, you know what I'm saying? Because Dark Nights of the Soul ain't no pretty shit. You always, it's anybody who's been there tell you, man, that's a roller coaster with one rail. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that should be one rail and you just zoom right down that motherfucker, right? And flying right off the tracks. It seemed like no parachute, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it was given to you for that reason because you have that strength. There's a fortitude about you that was designed and made to handle situations just like that and to learn from it and to grow from it. You know what I'm saying? And pretty soon, it's not a roller coaster anymore. It starts to level off. And not saying there ain't no bumps in the road and everything, but as you merge those pieces that were scattered throughout your life, as you start to merge those pieces of yourself that you lost, it'll start to level out. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just exploded and fragmented, gave energy to this situation. That shit didn't work, broke your heart. This shit didn't work. You lost whatever money, to this situation right here. They got you in trouble. You shouldn't have been fucking around with them anyway, kind of thing. And as you start to get those back, I'm telling you, it just levels out to a place where criticism and compliment are the same thing. There's a balance that's maintained. And that's what I mean. You can't put a price on peace of mind. You feel what I'm saying? So take that time to be by yourself and honor yourself, because that's all I did for I can't even, like, when I got out of that last relationship, I kind of tried to get in them waters again, but I wasn't ready. You feel what I'm saying? And I had to be honest about that shit because I hadn't plugged the hole back. You know what I'm saying? And fill that thing back up. You have to fill yourself with that love back. You know what I mean? For what you do, the way you express, for every little thing, even your flaws, your little, you know, even memories that might have been embarrassing now is just funny as shit. You know what I mean? Like the time, it's like the year 2000, man. We was in the hotel. We had that shit rented out. I forget what room it was, but it was nice. Hot tub, ignorance of youth kind of thing. Oh man poured me a drink. I don't know what the fuck was in there. Must have had like 4 or 5 kind of things. And he was just like, I should have watched him, right? But regardless, at that time I was unaware. I must have been like, what, 22, 23, some shit like that. What was it? 25, because that was 2000. It was 1999, and it was 2000. I almost died. Because of this shit from alcohol poisoning, right? So I took that shit, hit it to the head, and I mean, boom. I was lit, right? And we was bugging out and everything, and my stupid ass wanted to get into the hot tub, right? And I didn't know nothing about heat and alcohol. Soon as I hit the water, it just all came up. I saw my face. The last thing I saw was my face hit the water, and that was it for like the next 2-3 days. They had the we had the hotel room for like that long because we just took the weekend. It was me and a couple of my boys and shit, right? And when I woke up, I was on the floor, and I was like completely wrapped in the towels. All the towels they got from room service and shit. It looked like a mummy. I swear to you not. It looked like a mummy. And the funny thing about it, my man had passed out too, but under normal circumstances. But they said when we were both knocked out, every time I moved, he would move. You know what I'm saying? And that was the first time you look back now and you experience connections with people, psychic connections, links that are not seen but are felt. You know what I'm saying? Um, like this sister I know, she don't say a goddamn word to me, but she doesn't have to. And it's weird like that. And I've always been one of the people that I just love to communicate and all that. But this is a higher level of communication where it's like being stripped down to the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to see it because these eyes will lie to you all day long. But you sense it, you feel it with that eye, with your spirit, with your heart. You know what I'm saying? With your heart. But yeah, I wanted to, this is my contribution to that jam. Um, because it's gonna help. Just the realization just helped me out a whole lot. Like it just cleared up a whole lot. You know what I mean? So becomes 0 point time reference. You are the God. You are in control of your creation, which is your life. You have the free will. You know what I'm saying? But you also got to remember you have the contracts that you made before you got here, and those have to be honored, or shit just gets haywire. Trust me. Um, as far as not feeling them, because certain things are supposed to take place that you're a part of, and if you're not a part of it, it fucks the plan up, and then you go to like a spiritual prison. I swear to you, I've been in prison up in that motherfucker for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Um, because I was supposed to have a child, my last one supposedly, but I feel that, you know what I'm saying? Because everything else has been like lockdown since then, and that's what it is when you go into hermit mode. You lock yourself in, and you learn your lesson just like anybody in jail would. You would hope to be rehabilitated. You know what I'm saying? That's down here. This bullshit, but not all the time. Not all the time. Let me correct that. Not all the time, but just that time for you to retrograde on where you've come from to this point that got you where you are. You know what I mean? So give appreciation to those people that helped you along the way. There's a lot of people I would have to thank. Y'all know who y'all are. You know who you are. And even if you was the hater or whatever, there's lessons learned there. There was a lot of lessons learned from the people who pushed against what you was about. You know what I'm saying? So you have to appreciate them too. And that balance comes from appreciating yourself, because you are the hero and the villain of your story. You are the hero and the villain of your story. Period. Deuce.